I believe this is the best microphone of the four in the sacristy. Now, for those who are tourists here, and there are a few of you here, I want to give you a hint. There's one must-see place which might not be on your list of places to see. Everybody goes to the river, as they should, the Grand Palace and Wat Po and Wat Arun, as everybody should. But there's also the Bangkok Art and Cultural Centre. It's a great place of culture, and the building itself is a work of art. And it's easy to find. It's the end of the SkyTrain Silom line, and it's right opposite MBK. I go there often because I go there to see the exhibits. And there's an NGO that has its base there in the Art and Cultural Centre called SEA Junction, Southeast Asia Junction. And it's run by Leah. And she and her team do great work in highlighting the suffering, the issues, and the presence of Myanmar as it suffers through the tragedy of its present revolution, which is ongoing. And there's a hell of a lot of suffering going on. People are in a bad way. But there's a purpose for this. It's leading somewhere, but it's just a dreadful, dreadful war. Well, she had her latest exhibit. And her latest exhibit that I went to the opening during the week was Art and Culture. And it showed that art and culture is at the centre of any revolution. That a revolution has passion and it has heart. And if it doesn't have passion, it doesn't have any future. If it doesn't win the hearts of the people, it has no way to go forward. And this exhibit has three features. One is body art. People within Myanmar have no other way to protest than put tattoos on their body. And there are pictures of the body art. Another exhibit is of a quilt, a carpet, they call it. And it's made up of material from the clothes of various political prisoners. And there's a great line that I wanted to share. And it goes like this. It's from one of the prisoners. The fabric which protects our identities is woven in the style of a traditional carpet created from the clothes of political prisoners. Can the world still sweep us under the carpet if we become the carpet? And the third part of the exhibit is music. They have a little ensemble, a little orchestra, and they sing revolutionary music. And the flutist loves singing Gregorian chant, and he stands up and breaks into Gregorian chant. All round, it's a fantastic experience of art and culture that doesn't just speak of revolution, because with the word revolution goes all these bad contexts. Revolution is not just about tragedy, even though there's tragedy. Suffering, even though there's suffering. And the bad connotation is it doesn't have to involve violence, but we know that there is violence. The revolution speaks of transformation. And I mention it because last Sunday, Easter Sunday, I used the term transformation time and again, saying that the resurrection is about transformation. And I'm thinking people might not know what transformation is. That's what we're all on about as people of the Christian faith, as people who believe in the resurrection. Jesus came out through suffering, the crucifixion, and through the resurrection to be transformed and to show life in a new way and to offer that life to everybody. Pope Francis talks about we are people of the revolution. In no way violent, in no way armed, in any way. But Pope Francis talks about revolution of tenderness, the revolution of love. The Prior General of my order talks about the revolution of the gospel. It's about building up the kingdom of God. It's about building up ourselves as better people, building up better societies, building up better world. But it's not just about the betterment of the humanity, not just about the betterment of different individuals. It's about building up the kingdom of God and allowing our world to reflect the vision that God has for our world. And that vision is shown most clearly through the resurrection, and that resurrection calls us to transformation. That is not an easy task, but it is a task that is needed. It involves suffering of whatever kind and in whatever way, at the individual level, the social level, the level of humanity. During the week, I got an unexpected call from a good friend in Ireland. He didn't look in good shape. I saw him a month ago here. And he wanted to tell me he went to hospital and he's been found to have cancer of the pancreas and the liver. Now, I know that doesn't sound very good. That's not why I share it. But he said to me, "John, you're the only priest I know, and I'm going to fight this, and you're going to pray for me." The seeds of transformation. I was heartbroken, but that's where transformation happens. That's where we're called to be, at the very core of the suffering of people and the suffering of humanity, to allow the transformation to happen. Today is the 7th of April. 30 years ago, there began in a country in Africa called Rwanda a campaign of genocide where they say nearly 1 million people were killed by their own people. And it was based basically on hatred between the peoples because they saw each other as belonging to different races, different groups. And one group was evil and the other group was good. But it was really the tools of the powerful to want to stay in power. And I read a great line from someone last night. 30 years later, this person from Rwanda said, "The true transformation is that we are all one." Transformation, that's what we're called to. Transformation is not easy. It happens, it involves suffering, that's part of life. For some it involves violence, that's not part of life and should never happen. But transformation is what we're called to build a better world, to build a better individual, to build a better society, not just for us, but for the sake of all. And because we are builders of the kingdom.